Lehigh, Glenn Mayberry. Grand Canyon is 3-0. They're looking for their first 4-0 start since Bryce Drew's first year in 2020-2021. South Carolina is 4-0 for the first time since 2016-2017, which, by the way, partner, was the year they made the Final Four in Phoenix, Arizona. Away we go from Desert Diamond Arena. Gabe McLaughlin, been a tough start offensively in his season. Played well by Clark. Got it back, muscled it up, and a foul. And free throws will be coming. That's a good start for the guy who's been struggling a little bit offensively.
Well, it was a set play there. Go right at Stephen Clark. A little rip play, catch it on the elbow. One thing we don't have to talk about with McLaughlin is he's already become the school's all-time leading rebounder. We had that the other night since they've gone Division I.
Yeah, that's at the Division I level. He's got 633 rebounds now as he drops in that first free throw. He's now 4 for 7 on the season. Grand Canyon, for the year, is averaging 31 free throw attempts per game. They've taken 50 more free throws than their opponents. That is certainly something to watch. Can South Carolina guard without fouling? 2-0 edge. Here is Talon Cooper, leader in the SEC in assists. B.J. Mack off on a 3. Grant Foster clears. Grand Canyon preseason favorite in the WAC. Grant Foster out of control, and Meechie Johnson has it.
I love the aggressiveness, though, early of B.J. Mack. Got in foul trouble early in the game the other night. Never really got into the flow of the game.
It's Mack. Coming off a season low 4 points Friday. Stute is fouled. McLaughlin kind of undercut him. So that'll be his first.
Meechie Johnson did his job. He got 2 on the ball, coming off the ball screen. He pitched it back to him. He doesn't care he missed his first one. Shoot the next one. Love to see the leadership out of Meechie Johnson.
First ever meeting between Grand Canyon and South Carolina. First time that Grand Canyon's put an SEC school since 2014 when they lost by 40 to Kentucky. But that was their second year in Division I. Different story now. Meechie Johnson reverse. Too strong. Rebound Duke Brennan. He was really good the other night.
Duke Brennan. Physical presence on the inside. Transfer from Arizona State as Ray Harrison probes on the pick and roll. Tough finish in the lane.
Preseason player of the year in the conference. Had totaled 12 points through their first couple games. Had 17 in the second half Friday. Meechie Johnson backdoor for 2.
Back and forth we go with these two guys. Just outstanding scores. Ray Harrison coming off that ball screen and holding his defender and hitting that floater.
Harrison for Brennan. Working on Mack in the lane. Puts a shoulder down, no room given, and a 3-second violation. Well, there's the strength of B.J. Mack. That's 6'8", 270 holding his ground.
The coach uses him in a variety of different ways. They'll play him some at the 5 spot. They'll play him at the 4, put him in pick and pop situations. Some of the most sought after transfers in the entire country. It just seemed like every single SEC school wanted the big transfer from Wofford.
3 years at Wofford after a year at South Florida. Third school in 5 years. Meechie Johnson for Mack. He can shoot the 3, and he knocks it down right there.
And Meechie Johnson told him on the previous possession, shoot the ball. They put him back in the middle, pick and pop. Great play by Johnson to come off and find his big man.
B.J. Mack with his 6th 3 of the year. 5-4 the early lead for South Carolina. They've begun 2 of 4. Grand Canyon 1 of 3. Tyon Grant Foster falling away, and it trickles off. And Mack able to gobble in the rebound.
It's almost like Coach Lamont Paris has told Cooper, you're in no help. We're not helping off Grant Foster.
You don't want to help off him either.
Stute knocks it down. Good to see him make one early. Never really got into the flow offensively the other night. Did make a couple, but
2 years ago, partner, 43%.
He's proven he can do it. He proved he can do it at that level. Just a bigger, physical guard who can really knock it down from behind the arc. I thought you bring up a good point, too, Jack, just in terms of South Carolina defending without fouling. Grand Canyon got to the line the other night 38 times.
Harrison, he loves the post. Working on Jacoby Wright, who just checked in. Colin Moore tries a 3 and connects. He'll fix the net as Colin Moore drops it a triple.
Good patience by there. Ray Harrison trying to back his way down. Stute runs down there to double team, but Cooper doesn't make the next rotation, which allows him to knock down that 3-point shot.
Moore's a Georgia State transfer. Both of these teams at the portal hard. Grand Canyon 7 transfers, 4 for South Carolina. 1 point lead early for the Gamecocks. Kick out, Clark for 3. He knocks it down. Back and forth we go. We'll need to fix the nets again. That's how pure the shooting's been.
Great play by Jacoby Wright, getting in the lane, not settling on the perimeter. He drives it in there to find Stephen Clark. Just 11 minutes the other night for Clark versus DePaul.
Clark came in only averaging about 4 points a game. He averaged 16 last year at the Citadel, where he spent 3 years. About 3.5 gone first half. McLaughlin with a size mismatch with Wright, and now it's Harrison wants a clear out. Shot clock inside 10. Harrison sizing up Clark. Deep 3. Sydney Curry pushed off against Stute. And a second team foul on Grand Canyon as Curry checks in. We start to see both of these teams going to their benches. Benjamin Bozeman's Verdonk will check in for South Carolina. There's a look at Bryce Drew. We talked about him not resting on his laurels after winning the WAC title a year ago. How about 2 tournament appearances in 3 years?
67 wins. Yeah. 67 wins.
27 losses.
Just completely revamped this program, and just an unbelievable job as you see Stute coming off the stagger. Great read, curling a little bit in the lane. Lamont Paris has got to be happy with his offensive production early in this basketball game.
Good sign for Stute. Season low 7 points Friday. He's already got 5 in about 4 minutes. Curry inside with the left. That's a strong hand, but it rims out. So Bozeman's Verdonk and Wright. A couple of subs in there with Cooper, Clark, and Stute. 4.5 gone by first half. South Carolina by 5. And then made their last 5 shots. It's Wright. Off the bounce in the lane. Got caught up in the air. Tie up. And possession will stay with South Carolina. Off and running here in the desert, partner.
More knock, and then Grand Canyon taking care of the basketball will be big for them. It almost cost them the game the other night against San Francisco, but continue to put pressure on the paint and see if they can't get back to the foul line.
South Carolina ball. They've started 5 of 7. They've made 5 shots in a row. Benjamin Bozeman's Verdonk working on McLaughlin. Shot clock down to 3. Across the lane, trying to sweep in a hook, and I don't think he got it off. Missed anyway. Here comes Ray Harrison. Grand Canyon, a 2 of 7 start. Harrison sifting through traffic, falls away. Back rim, Stute clears. So GCU a little cold to start. Michi Johnson tries a 3. And an air ball, he'll hear it from the student section now.
You know, going back to the other night, Ray Harrison struggled a little bit early in the game, trying to find his offensive rhythm, and then once the second half came around, he really took that basketball game over.
And to your point, 7 points in the first half on 1 of 4. He was 5 of 10 in the second half, played every minute, scored 17 points. 5 gone opening half. Championship game, inaugural Arizona tip-off. Tie on Grant Foster, number 12 scorer in the country, 7 in purple. It's Harrison down the lane, trying to find some room. Wright gave him no space. Colin Moore, shot clock running down. In the lane, it's Curry. We got a foul and a block called on Stute. 13 foul on South Carolina.
One of the most inconsistent calls in all of college basketball. It's tough to get that call right, but I think the officials got it right there. Anytime you're going to step up on a drive, you've got to put your body in the play. Take it right on the chest. You can't take it on the side. It's going to be blocked 10 times out of 10.
Scoring drought for GCU has surpassed 2.5 minutes. McLaughlin off the double. Colin Moore, the Georgia State transfer, across the lane, up and off. Volleyball around, kept alive by Curry. Tossed it in the backcourt, out of bounds.
And that was a much better job, Jack, that possession when South Carolina decided to run down and double in the post. You can see they all made their rotations coming out of the double to take away the 3.
So you can see the scoring drought here for Grand Canyon after a fast start. Harrison will sit. In comes Josh Baker. He's coming off shoulder surgery earlier in the summer. He's got 90% range of motion back. All his strength is back. Native of Phoenix. He started at Hutchinson Community College in Kansas, then went to UNLV. Second year now with GCU. They're hoping to give you a spark plug. Michi Johnson, backdoor cut, beautifully done. And a good feed from Bozeman's Verdonk.
Great pass from Verdonk. They missed The backdoor cut coming out of the corner, but continued to stick with the action, able to get a layup.
Grant Foster against Davis, and a foul.
You can see the game plan for South Carolina right now is not to even allow Grant Foster to get catches. They're keeping sock. All four front court players seem to be having some friendly conversation.
And they were double checking on the foul. Third as a team on South Carolina. Grant Foster going baseline. Grand Canyon scoring drought approaching 3.5 minutes. Grant Foster, pull back three, way off the mark. Curry, though, is in there for the rebound and putback. He is so strong inside. It's a 5-point game.
He had 29 starts last season for Louisville. We talked about this the other night. Grand Canyon is so deep. A number of these guys would start anywhere in the country, and they're coming off the bench for Grand Canyon. Shows a level of sacrifice.
Davis kicks. Jacoby right off the bounce. Mid-range is true. Junior from Fort Mill, South Carolina, had 6 in the second half against DePaul on Friday. Had a couple big games in SEC play last year. And a steal. Take away from Baker. Here comes Johnson. South Carolina running. Up top, Davis. Oh, he went down. And Grand Canyon wants to run. Johnson poked it away. And a foul. We saw them be unable to convert an alley-oop Friday, partner, and again they can't do it.
Yeah, it's just a simple play. You've got a 3-on-1. Turn the basketball over. You've got to get a shot up at the basket. It's got to be a layup or it's got to be a foul.
So you're saying sometimes the simpler play is better. As much as we love the highlight.
Not for too much coach speak, but yes, the simple play is better.
Bozeman's Verdonk will exit. Studi back in. Grant Foster, Harrison, Curry. Originally checked in Luke Moore and Josh Baker, the 5 for GCU. Grant Foster. And now Harrison off the Curry screen. Pulls up in the mid-range. That's where he lives. Offensive rebound. Curry batted through his hands. Taken by War, the Oregon transfer. Fresh 20 for Grand Canyon. 4 offensive rebounds in the early going. That's keeping them alive.
Well, you got to love the activity early here of Sidney Curry coming off the bench. Just the size, the physicality up front. And he's playing with tremendous effort.
He's a transfer from Louisville, 2 years there. They call him Big Ticket. He's playing big in this first half.
Sure is. Grant Foster's trying to get himself going here, and South Carolina's going deep into their bench as well. They bring Josh Gray into the game. Thought he played some unbelievable minutes the other night.
Yeah, season high 15 minutes, 8 points, 7 rebounds. And the win over DePaul, he was tremendous. Third year in the program after starting his career at LSU. Approaching 8 gone first half. Grand Canyon sitting on 9 points. Ray Harrison in the lane against Studi. Takes some contact to call travel. It won't count. The defense on Harrison and Grant Foster has been tremendous from South Carolina.
And you can see Studi just stays down. He stays in a disciplined defensive stance, keeps both hands up in the air. May have got away with one of that right and left hand dropped.
Question is, did the foot move first? It was close. Meechie Johnson off the screen from Gray. His pass knocked away. Tyon Grant Foster lost it. Studi took it back. What a hustle play that is.
Knows he was just a little bit careless with the basketball. He makes the effort play to get it back.
Studi. 5 early points for him. Lamont Paris calls out a play, 10 to shoot. South Carolina has begun 7 of 12. Johnson to Studi. Deep 3. And Luke War the rebound. Grant Foster. Loves that wing 3 on a baseline drive. Up and off, another miss. So he has begun 0 of 4.
Got to give South Carolina's defense a lot of credit for that, though. They're being extremely physical with him and making him work for even every single shot attempt.
Morris Ugasuk in the game for South Carolina, the true freshman from Helsinki, Finland, who they love. 15 in white. Jacoby Wright draws a foul. 11:02 to play in this first half. Yes, it has been
out there in the country. You know, Jack, you mentioned earlier just how high the South Carolina staff is on Ugasuk. They're also without Colin Murray Bowles, really talented freshman who, in talking to Lamont Paris, feels like he's a guy that could even start with this basketball team, and they're optimistic they can get him back out there soon.
Stute for three. Josh Gray tipped it, taken by Harrison. A 3 for 13 start for Grand Canyon. Grant Foster runs over to Lon Cooper. And there's the experience of a guy who's playing in game number 131 of his career today.
Yeah, former team captain at Minnesota, understands just the value of Grant Foster and puts his body into play, takes it right on the chest. That's how you take a charge.
As great as Grant Foster has been, he's been away from the game for 2 years. Is it maybe tricky not to press?
Well, I think, again, you've got to credit South Carolina's defense. They're being extremely physical with him. They don't even want him catching the basketball on the perimeter, and they know when he drives, 9 times out of 10, he's driving to score. Put your body into play and take a charge, just like Cooper did there.
Cooper lofts it. Josh Gray inside and a foul. A concerted effort to get the ball inside here for South Carolina. Another foul on Grand Canyon. That's team foul number 5. That one goes on Luke War, his first.
Gabe McLaughlin has his hands full trying to guard Josh Gray down there in the post.
Talon Cooper, stolen away by War. A rare turnover for a guy who's one of the best assist-to-turnover ratio in the country. Ray Harrison. Moore couldn't catch it cleanly. Against Johnson, poked it free. It was loose for a second. Moore, I think, kicked it, and it'll go to South Carolina.
Coach Paris loves the activity up here in his team on down in a defensive stance, but those 50-50 balls, those loose balls, coming up with those types of plays will be huge in this basketball game.
How about the job Lamont Paris has done with this South Carolina team? 11-21 a year ago, a 4-0 start now, their best since 2016-2017. After 5 years at Chattanooga, led them to a NCAA tournament, as did my partner, Morris Ugasak, true freshman from Finland, working on Luke War. Michi Johnson gets inside, rims off. Lid closed right now for both teams. Colin Moore, and a foul. So GCU right now in a scoring drought that's nearing 4 minutes. South Carolina at 3.5 minutes. And a big-time struggle in this first half for these two teams offensively.
Michi made the right play. He got down the lane, just didn't finish the basket. But I think both teams are competing. They're competing at a high level. They've gone deep into their benches. 9 guys have played in this basketball game for both teams, which is huge when you're playing 2 games in 3 days. Utilizing your depth will play dividends towards the end of this basketball game.
Harrison inbounds to Grant Foster, looking for his first points, and a foul on Cooper. So that's number 7. And that means a 1-and-1 and a chance for Grant Foster to see the ball go through the basket.
And that's one of our South Carolina has to defend without fouling. 38 free throws for Grand Canyon on Friday night. And a talented scorer like Grant Foster only need to see the ball go through the hoop a couple times and get yourself to the free throw line. Guys do that, they can have huge nights offensively.
You can see his numbers for the season. We talked about him scoring 28 points on Friday. He took 15 free throws. Front end of a 1-and-1, and he rims it in. Shooting free throws right around a 77% clip this year. Again, Kansas City native. Began his career at Indian Hills Community College. A year at Kansas. 1/2 of a game at DePaul. The heart issue, the 2 years off, and now number 12 in the country in scoring. He's got both. Grand Canyon is within 5, and that scoring drought finally ceases. Talon Cooper. Ugasak. Working on Grant Foster. That's a foul. Bryce Drew can't believe it. Grant Foster gets number 2. That's 6 as a team on Grand Canyon.
Both teams now in the bonus. Pretty good individual defense there by Grant Foster. Staying down, moving his feet. Ugasak drawing, but that's huge. Grant Foster now picking up his second foul, but Bryce Drew going to stick with them, let him stay in this game.
You can see the players from Finland in Division I. Federico at Pittsburgh. South Carolina actually just signed his brother Uko. That was a big pickup for them. Oku, I should say. I pronounced his first name wrong. Oku Federico coming over to South Carolina. That was a big get for Lamont Paris. Part of the Drive Basketball Academy in Finland. Shot clock runs down on Talon Cooper. Very rare you see that happen to him.
Both teams right now are locked in defensively. We've got a defensive struggle going on in this game. How about the other guy on that list, Olivier Kamwan, what he's doing in Michigan, the transfer from Tennessee, just unbelievable season thus far.
He's been great. 16-11, the South Carolina lead. Leads been as many as 7. Grant Foster, hard hedge out top, inside McLaughlin, outside Moore. Off the bounce, baseline on Ugasuk, reversed it up and in.
Was just getting ready to talk about South Carolina's defense, the effort to step up and stop the roll, the rotations. And then Moore with just a tough drive to the basket.
South Carolina's scoring drought approaching 5 minutes. Backdoor Ugasuk. Off his hands, out of bounds. Turnover number 4 on South Carolina.
You know, at shoot around today, South Carolina worked on that action several times. Coach Lamont Paris, as you see Moore just driving, taking on the contact and finishing, but South Carolina worked on that play several times. They want to get that backdoor layup.
Grand Canyon can tie it with a 3. Colin Moore, drop off to Harrison, blocked by Clark. That's something he does very well. And Ugasuk out of the pack with it. Clark last year at the Citadel blocked 2 shots a game.
Also got a degree in mechanical engineering.
He did. And he drives baseline and scores. A degree, a block, 2 points, and a 5-point lead for South Carolina.
A little bit of everything.
He's a guy they expected coming in, maybe 15, 20 minutes off the bench, but as he mentioned, with the loss of Colin Murray Boyles, he's had to play a bigger role. Tyon Grant Foster, and finally gets his first field goal.
He comes off the pick and roll there and holds his defender on his back, takes one dribble and gets down the lane. That's a difficult shot to make.
Cooper for Clark. And now B.J. Mack against McLaughlin. Meechie Johnson, step back triple, you bet. So Meechie knocking down a 3.
Great read by Meechie Johnson. Grand Canyon messed up the switch off the dribble handoff. Meechie read it and made the right play.
Came in shooting 26% this year, but he's capable. He made 73s last year. Ray Harrison in the mid-range. That's where he lives. So good, so dangerous there. His second field goal.
Talk about the right read, coming off the ball screen, getting to your spots, right on the elbow, pull-up J.
Native of Greenville, South Carolina, about 100 miles northwest of Columbia. You think he's into this one today? Taking on his hometown team. Shot clock to 10 for Johnson. Kick out for Clark. Off the bounce with 6. They got to go. It's Cooper and Grant Foster. Shot clock to 3. And a straight jacket. Scoop shot way off. Shot clock violation. The Grand Canyon defense picking up in a big
second half. Maybe stayed up a little bit too late last night. Had a little bit too much fun at those parties. But we got to get that guy awake here. We got a heck of a game going on.
Give a lot of credit to the band, too. Come on, buddy. Come on. He'll wake up soon enough. 21-17, the South Carolina lead. We approach 6 to go first half. Title game of the Arizona tip-off. Grant Foster to the rim. Banks at home his second field goal. And after an 0-4 start, he's made his last 2.
Yeah, set play coming out of the timeout there to get him driving the basketball to his right hand. Good finish in the basket.
Again, the number 12 scorer in the country coming in. 23 per game through 3 games. B.J. Mack backing down on Duke Brennan. The Arizona State transfer trying to wall him off. Mack, the Wofford transfer, puts it up and off, and McLaughlin rebounds. Numbers for GCU. Ray Harrison backing it out for McLaughlin. Grant Foster's open, passes on a 3, tipped away to Brennan, left the hook short. And Clark goes down to the heap. And they're going to stop play here. Clark got hit right in the chops.
Not really sure why Grant Foster didn't take that 3 there in transition of season to now top 20 in experience, and that's the day and age of college basketball. You can go into the transfer portal and get a lot more experience in just one season.
Yeah, they're number 12 in the country, about 2.87 average age of Division I experience. And Grand Canyon, by the way, is right around 2.2 average age, so they're pretty experienced as well. We roll towards 5 to go in the first half. Stute falling away. Oh, he drops in another one. That's 7 points for him.
That is a tough, difficult shot. Comes off the stagger there, trying to get a three, and then just makes a very, very difficult shot.
A miss in tight by Isaiah Shaw, who has come on. He's a third redshirt freshman from Rome, Italy.
See here, he's coming off the stagger, puts it down one dribble. Great defense by Grant Foster, holding his ground. Just a tough shot by Stute.
Isaiah Shaw, whose dad Casey is a coach on the staff. His uncle is Bryce Drew. Casey's married to Bryce's sister Dana. Brother Caleb is also on the team. McLaughlin tries a three. He just can't find that stroke early on this season. Now 1 of 11 on the year from deep. South Carolina at 53%. Cooper a corner pop. Brennan clears.
The right play by Jacoby Wright, though, on the baseline drive. Throwing that drift pass, it's a wide open shot. Just got to continue to make the right play.
Harrison to the bucket with the lefts. And Bozeman's Verdonk rebounds. Grand Canyon 7 for 22 from the floor, but they're only down by 4. BJ Mack, catch and shoot. Puts in a three.
Cooper comes off that ball screen. Mack pops back. Talk about an on-time, on-target pass by Cooper.
Mack shot at 37% in his career at Wofford from deep. He can really stretch the floor. So 4 threes now for South Carolina, 1 for Grand Canyon. Harrison against Jacoby Wright. Played him well. Shaw catch and shoot. Brennan tips the rebound out of bounds. Going back to South Carolina. A tough start offensively for Grand Canyon. 5th-ranked Colorado taking on Richmond. Catch all the action right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports Network. We are in Glendale, Arizona, Desert Diamond Arena. Inaugural Arizona tip-off championship game. South Carolina and Grand Canyon, both teams unbeaten so far this year. South Carolina leads it by 7. They're shooting 52%, Grand Canyon 30%, yet they're in this game.
Right here in this basketball game. Set play coming out of timeout, trying to get the back door. Meechie Johnson asking for a hold there.
They got a technical.
Stute's going to pick up a technical foul. You talk about South Carolina's offense, though. The ball movement has been there. 10 assists on 11 made field goals.
So Stute gets charged with the technical. That's an experienced guy making a mistake. 96th career game here today. Again, it's been 3 years at Vanderbilt. And you put Ray Harrison at the free throw line, a career 80% free throw shooter.
Meechie Johnson and Stute both were kind of arguing with the officials. He felt like he got held on that backdoor cut and must have just said something right after the play happened.
You know, as a coach, a lot of emotions involved in this game, and especially in a game like this. 2 great teams, high-level teams that expect to be playing in March, and that's a big, big call. Stute, who we mentioned came in as their 3rd leading scorer, 12 per game, 7 points, but he's got to go to the bench now with 3.
I was always very appropriate with the officials.
I
never once raised my voice.
Never any arguments.
I can assure you of that.
I'm sure they would agree. Offensive foul. Cooper has drawn a couple charges today.
As physical as this game has been, outside of the technical free throws, Grand Canyon only 4 free throws in this game. South Carolina doesn't have 1 attempt.
Yeah.
When the other night, that was kind of a major issue for them. They shoot 34, they only made 20. We saw them shoot around it. They spent a lot of time at the foul line.
Well, we asked how is Grand Canyon hanging around shooting 30%. They've made 6 free throws, none for the Gamecocks, and they've also grabbed 5 offensive rebounds. Meechie Johnson had to go out of bounds.
Swarming defense as Meechie Johnson is coming down off the wide pin down. He catches. Once he hits the lane, there's 5 defenders around him. He's got nowhere to even make a play.
Grand Canyon over their last 5. 7 for 23 in the first half. Tyon Grant Foster lost him in the lane. Trying to find room on Cooper. Played him well. Colin Moore off the McLaughlin screen. Wheeling off of it. And now Grant Foster with 10 to shoot. Sizing up Cooper. Backs up for a 3 and drills it. Right in front of the South Carolina bench. Grand Canyon within 2.
There's just nothing you can do when a guy like Grant Foster elevates as high as he does to get his three-point shot off.
He missed his first 4 shots. He's made his last 3. Backdoor pass. Bozeman's Verdonk tipped away. I don't think Lamont Paris loved that one.
How about the elevation by Foster when he shoots just a one dribble step back? Cooper's there. That's just a tough shot.
How about the fact that his first couple of years of Division I college basketball, he was 4 for 25 from 3. That's his first 23 career games. He's shooting about 50% at Grand Canyon in the early going this year. A lot of time spent in the gym. 2 years away from the game. Jacoby Wright knocked away, taken by Colin Moore. GCU with numbers. Moore to Harrison. Fouled by B.J. Mack. And he can tie the game at the free throw line.
We just gave credit to South Carolina's defense as being swarming. No, on every single catch, nobody's got an angle to drive, and it's not one guy's job, it's 5 guys' job versus the ball.
Took a big shot there from B.J. Mack. Ray Harrison is typically living around the free throw line. We talked about it on Friday. He took 234 free throws a year ago. That was the 12th most in the country. So it equates to shooting about 6.5 per game. He took 13 on Friday. This guy who started at Presbyterian, averaged more than 17 each of the years there, came over to Grand Canyon. Now, he got off to a slow start last year, Matt, and part of it was he was playing with Jovan Blackshear Jr., who's out with an ACL right now, but those two learning to play off each other. Blackshear goes down with the ACL in January. Harrison takes off, and he hasn't looked back.
Well, imagine how deep they're going to be when they get him back. Another talented scoring guard. And it takes time. It's taken him some time this year just getting used to playing with new guys. I mean, that is the day and age of college basketball.
Here comes this GCU crowd. Dangerous pass to Wright. Tied at 26. Right in the lane. Falling away, missed it. Rebound, Colin Moore. Basket here. GCU's got their first lead since it was 4-2. Colin Moore. Stuck with nowhere to go. And now Ray Harrison. 1:45 to go, first half. Harrison finds Curry against Mack. His hook left it short. Bozeman's Verdonk another rebound, his third.
See if South Carolina gets B.J. Mack back into a high pick and roll, high pick and pop situation. We've gone away from that last few possessions.
Teron Cooper, Michi Johnson. Thought about a 3 and all kinds of space, didn't take it. Inside 90 seconds first half. Jacoby Wright knifing his way to the paint. Put it up, a block and a foul. It'll go on Curry. That'll be his second.
B.J. Mack got off to such a great start. They kept putting him in the middle, picking pops. They ran a double ball screen there, get him popping back. Bozeman rolling to the basket. See if they get back to some of that. It's been a while since he's even had a field goal attempt.
Junior from Fort Mill, South Carolina. Averaging 9 per game. He's now 7 for 8 at the free throw line this year. Yeah, we talked about it. Last year he had some big games in SEC play. 18 at LSU in a road win in February. 17 at Ole Miss. Lamont Paris loves his ability to score off the bench. He kind of attributes him to a guy like Kyle Lowry, coming off a bench as a spark plug.
Well, here's the other thing, too. He stayed through a coaching change.
Right.
In today's day and age, nobody does that. Nobody stays through a coaching change. And here's a guy that Lamont Paris came through the door. He believed in what he was saying. He stayed, and it's paying off for him.
Ray Harrison falls away. That's great defense from Wright. And South Carolina slows it down. Those 2 free throws, by the way, the first 2 on the night for the Gamecocks. Michi Johnson lost his footing. B.J. Mack, Jacoby Wright. Against Curry on a switch. Back to Mack. In the paint. Puts it up. Offensive foul. Gabe McLaughlin. He does everything for this team. Even when he's not scoring, he's affecting the game somehow.
A great teaching point here for young players. You always want to play off 2 feet. Anytime someone steps up on the halo, you've got to play off 2 feet. Could Bozeman have backed up to the baseline, drop it off to him for a layup? But great play by McLaughlin. He can do a little bit of everything. We've talked about his ability to rebound, but he gives so much energy to this Grand Canyon program.
And you made this point Friday. 34 minutes played in that game against DePaul. Season low 2 points. He was a team best plus 16. Tells you his impact. Grand Canyon can tie or regain the lead. McLaughlin for 3. Puts it in.
Right on cue, partner. He can do a little bit of everything as he knocks down the 3 right after he takes the charge.
First lead since it was 4-2, less than 90 seconds in. This crowd at full throat. Shot clock is dark for Meechie Johnson. Can South Carolina responds? Inside 10 seconds. Gray sets the screen. Johnson surveys. Mid-range is true. How about a crowd silencer there? And then McLaughlin threw it out. It was tipped. And South Carolina.
But you can throw some kind of lob up there and someone gets their hand on it.
My point was you cannot control it and go up. It's got to be very quick.
Look for Duke Brennan just to be all over the inbounder here, jumping up and down, making this pass very difficult.
So Meechie Johnson will trigger.
There it is.
Looking, there's the lob. Cooper tips it. And that will take us to halftime here at Desert Diamond Arena. South Carolina led by as many as 7. Valparaiso, where he played at Valpo, the shot in 1998 against Ole Miss in the NCAA tournament. Coached at Valpo, took them to the tournament, took Vanderbilt to a tournament, and has taken GCU to 2. Lamont Paris, meanwhile, in South Carolina, trying to get back to the big dance for the first time since 2016-2017 when they were in the Final Four in Phoenix. It's a foul on Talon Cooper, trailing Tyon Grant Foster. Away we go with the second half.
Interested to see how this half is officiated, because it was a very physical basketball game in the first half, like we talked about, but not a ton of free throws. Does that change in the second half? Referees make adjustments too, Jeff.
Great point. Gabe McLaughlin backing on Clark across the lane, and he's fouls. So they go to McLaughlin the same way they did first possession of the first half.
Going back to our key for South Carolina, defending without fouling. Grand Canyon got into the bonus in the first half. South Carolina, 2 early fouls in the second.
McLaughlin knocks in that first free throw. He's 3 for 3 now at the line tonight. Career right around 70%. A guy who last year had a career high 35 points in the quarterfinals of the WAC tournament against Seattle. Tied for the top scoring tournament performance in GCU and WAC history. Lead is 1 for Grand Canyon. B.J. Mack handing off to Studi. Working off the screen. Mack catch and shoot 3 bucket. He's knocked down a couple from deep. His 3rd triple, in fact, he's got 9.
Great call by Lamont Paris. They did it in the first half. They put him in a pick and pop situation, and Mack doesn't need a lot of time to get that 3-point shot off.
Again, a very good 3-point shooter, right around 36% for his career. They want to post McLaughlin again against Clark. A very good defender. Help comes. Harrison for 3. Well, off the mark, Brennan rebounds, but he was out of bounds. That's the one area of Harrison's game, little suspect right now, the 3-point shooting. Another look at Mack.
Yeah, pick and pop situation. If Grand Canyon's not going to switch the ball screen because Mack gets it off so fast, that's a luxury for South Carolina right now. Put him in more ball screens, let him pop back, especially if they're not going to switch.
You know, Harrison, preseason player of the year in the conference. He's 1 for 12 from 3 this season now. B.J. Mack for Cooper. Great feed inside to Stephen Clark. And that is why Cooper is number 4 in active assist leaders in Division I.
He's one of the best passers of the basketball in all of college basketball.
He's averaged about 5 assists for his career. That has spanned 131 games in 3 schools. 4-point South Carolina lead. Harrison cut off by Johnson. It's Colin Moore across the lane. Left it short. McLaughlin is there to clean it up.
Mr. Do-It-All for Grand Canyon. He's the leader. He's the energy guy on this team. He just makes game-winning plays.
They had 14 points in their first 3 games. He's got 9 already tonight. New season high. 2-point game, approaching 2 gone second half. Title game, Arizona tip-off. Talon Cooper picked up the dribble. They want to post up Mack. They've got him on McLaughlin. Shot clock dwindling down. Mack backing in. Hedge comes inside from Moore. Across the lane, left it short and foul. McLaughlin will pick it up.
You know, after Mack makes that last 3-point shot, switching.
So B.J. Mack to the free throw line, his first attempts tonight. 8 for 10 so far this season. Career 82% free throw shooter. He was 2-time All-Southern Conference at Wofford in 3 years there. Spent a year at South Florida as well. Lamont Paris brought him in and said, hey, he's going to just do everything first. He's going to be high usage. we've seen him used in many different ways over Friday and Sunday now.
And Lamont Paris, a familiar face for BJ Mack, both coming from the Southern Conference. Had some battles back in the day, Chattanooga and Wofford, two of the better programs in that league.
And they faced off against each other 6 times, so they got well acquainted. BJ Mack's got 11. First player in double figures in the game. GCU and Harrison working off a screen. Mid-range, left it short. And Meechie Johnson rebounds. Very good by South Carolina, keeping it 1 and done.
Good individual defense there by Meechie Johnson, not picking up a foul as well.
Johnson for Mack. He's got 3 threes. And misses there. Tyon Grant Foster. 9 first-half points for the leading scorer in the WAC. Number 12 in the country. That's a good contest by Clark. It's tipped out to Johnson. A 1 of 5 start to the second half for GCU, and a foul here on Moore.
Nothing has come easy in this game for Grant Foster. Defensively, it doesn't matter who's been on him for South Carolina, being extremely physical with him. It's 5 guys helping as well. Whoever's on individual defense, you could see he sees a ton of bodies out there, making him have to earn everything.
Cooper inbounds. Stute catch and shoot. Around and off. And Moore's got the rebound. Moore down the lane. Mack tied him up. Possession South Carolina. The defense has been outstanding from the Gamecocks.
It's really how they built their lead in this game in the first half, was on the defensive end of the floor, and then balanced attack offensively. They had good movement, good ball movement, good player movement, making the right play, making extra passes. We'll see if they go back to BJ Mack here in a middle pick and pop situation.
You can look at a lot of numbers of why they're 4-0 and why they're off to a great start. Their defense and the way they've improved from a year ago. Night and day, exponentially better. BJ Mack against Curry. And he's got Stute. Off a screen, Shaw defends. Stute backtracks and knocks down the mid-range again. What a night he's had.
That's a tough shot, too, going to his left to stop on a dime and pull up for that pull-up jump shot. Great play by Stute.
9 points for him. Isaiah Shaw. It's McLaughlin. Backing in on Clark. Falls away and hits. Good sign to get him going. He's in double figures with 11.
Go back to the first play of the game. They went to McLaughlin. They liked that matchup with Clark on him and went right back to the same action right there.
Playing in his 95th game for Grand Canyon here tonight. 4-point game. Meechie Johnson off the stagger. It's Clark. And now Mack. Cooper to Mack on the drop-off. Takes some contact and scores.
Great play in the ball screen by Cooper. He comes off. He probes on his dribble. He gets 2 on the ball and the drop-down pass to BJ Mack. Great play by Talon Cooper.
His 3rd assist. Mack's got 13. Lofted to McLaughlin. Off his hands, out of bounds. Turnover number 12 on Grand Canyon. BJ Mack carrying South Carolina at the time to honor the culture, traditions, and achievements of the nation's original citizens. Here at the Arizona tip-off at Desert Diamond Arena, championship game. South Carolina leading Grand Canyon by 6. Their lead at halftime was 1. Early second half. Backdoor feed intended for Johnson goes out of bounds. South Carolina with turnover number 10. 22 combined turnovers in this game, partner.
Tell you what, Lamont Paris really wants that backdoor play to work. They worked on it about 7 or 8 times today in shoot around. You've seen them gone to it several times tonight, just haven't converted it yet.
Both of these teams unbeaten so far this year. Grand Canyon 3-0, South Carolina 4-0. Ray Harrison against Clark. Spins in the lane, no room given. Shot clock to 10 for McLaughlin. Has a team high 11. Double comes, outside Shaw, over to Harrison. Luke War for 3. Foul on the floor, called on South Carolina.
Tell you one thing, Gabe McLaughlin, he is working his tail off down on the offensive end of the floor. Shots go up, trying to get himself positioned. And man, he really celebrated that foul call because he know how hard he worked.
We talked about it. He scored a season-low 2 points Friday against San Francisco yet he was a team best plus 16. He's so impactful. Here he is in the lane against Clark. Puts a shoulder down, muscles it up and short. It's tipped by Curry and it goes in. That's what he does. Second field goal for him.
Blocker trying to go at Clark again. Clark so long able to affect that shot. Curry sticking with the play.
Clark, Bozeman's Verdonk, Stute curling along with Cooper and Wright, and there's Stute again. He's got 11 points. He's in double figures the 4th time in 5 games this year.
We've seen Stute off that stagger score in a variety of ways. We know he wants to shoot the 3. That time curling off the stagger and getting in the lane.
Lead back to a half dozen. McLaughlin for 3. Maybe a little early in the shot clock there. Grand Canyon 0 of 3 in the second half from distance. 3 of 10 in the game. Cooper, baseline drive. Oh, he pulled the Houdini. He got free. No one found him. Scoops to the hoop for 2, largest lead for South Carolina.
Yeah, no baseline step up there as Cooper goes to the baseline. Someone's got to step up outside the lane and shut that drive off.
Delon Cooper, we've talked.
Johnson with his slashing ability. They love sending Stute off those staggers, allow him to create. And then BJ Mack in those ball screens, pick and pop situations, he can attack off the bounce once he catches it in those situations as well.
Feels like a big moment in this game. 8-point game. Mack and Johnson on the bench for South Carolina. Can GCU make a push? Again, they were down 7 to San Francisco Friday. Came back to win. Harrison in the lane. That's a good start.
It's a good start, and they need more of that. Jack, you just alluded to it. San Francisco had everything going for them on Friday night. Grand Canyon ends the game on a 12-4 run. Good start there for Harris to get his team back in this game.
Bozeman's Verdonk handing off for Davis and a foul. Gonna get Luke War on a reach in. That'll be number 2 on him.
Love the aggressiveness defensively. Not allowing Davis just to come off the handoff. Call that blowing the handoff up. Never want him just to hand it. Maybe you don't turn the corner and create a play.
Stute for Wright. Those 2 with Cooper, Gray, and Davis. Zach Davis. Dangerous pass, got to Wright. Shot clock to 5. Right down the lane. Gets to the cup and finishes. He's got 6.
He gave them some great minutes in the first half of this game.
Tie on Grant Foster. McLaughlin tried to dunk it over the whole team, but a foul. Free throws coming.
Grand Canyon, very aggressive defense. Way down the lane for the easy finish.
You know who he says his favorite player is? Devin Booker. Guy who they know around here pretty well. He does a lot of stuff like that, doesn't he?
Just down the road, downtown Phoenix.
They see that spin move an awful lot. Grant Foster at the line for 2. And he gets the roll on the first, so he's got 10 points. He's been in double figures each of his first 4 games as a GCU Lope.
Now this time in the first half, he got to the foul line as well. Got himself going a little bit. We'll see if they try to run an action to get him a shot the next possession down.
11 points for him. Again, 2 years without playing. He's had a 30 and a 28-point game early on in his GCU career. 6-point South Carolina lead, inside 13 to go. Stute against Grant Foster, a reach-in foul call. That's 4 on Grand Canyon. 3 now on Grant Foster.
Really no need to reach there. Just be defensive stance. Obviously, Stute wants to back him down and try to post up. Got to trust your teammates to help as you're down there fighting post defense-wise.
South Carolina has been so methodical offensively, but they've been effective. 7 for 9 in the second half. They've made their last 5 shots. They have slowed this pace down. They haven't let the crowd get into it too much.
And they've been unselfish, Jack. That's the biggest thing.
Right.
14 assists, 18 made field goals. We've talked about it, just a balanced attack offensively.
Mack and Johnson resting. It's Josh Gray against McLaughlin. Another foul is called. And all of a sudden they're piling up now. The Havocs don't love it. Bryce Drew can't believe it.
Obviously, Gray has the tremendous size advantage over McLaughlin. McLaughlin just down there banging with him. But I like the call by Bryce Drew in terms of not running down there and doubling Josh Gray. If you're going to put 2 on the ball the rotations coming out of that have to be terrific. Let Josh Gray try to beat him.
Stute blocked by Grant Foster. He wasn't having that. We haven't talked about his defense very much, but he's special on that end of the floor too.
He's special on that end of the floor just because of how athletic he is, and not even just his shot blocking, but when shots are up on the glass, he skies to rebound and goes over everybody.
Cooper in the lane. Shot clock is down. It's Davis for three. You betcha. South Carolina takes its largest lead at 9.
And who was it that made the pass? Cooper got in the lane, almost bobbled the basketball a little bit, but found Davis on the perimeter. Great play by Cooper.
GCU feels like a must-respond situation. That's a foul on Gray on a hard hedge. South Carolina in the second half, 8 for 11. They're through 3 games, averaging 84 points per. They are at 41 tonight. They're shooting 34%. They came in shooting 49%. Credit the South Carolina defense too. Tyon Grant Foster to trigger. He's out there with Moore, McLaughlin, War, and Harrison. Largest lead right now for South Carolina. Championship game of the Arizona tip-off. 2 unbeaten's going at it. Backdoor McLaughlin got free on the baseline and finishes.
McLaughlin sprints into that ball screen and he slips it to compromise the pick and roll coverage. Great play by McLaughlin.
He's got 13 in double figures for the first time this year. Davis with Wright, Stute, Mack, and Cooper. Johnson still resting. BJ Mack, team high 13. Backing on McLaughlin. Spins it baseline. Up and under, move, banked it in. Oh, he put him in the weight room there. Mack's got 15.
And he gave a roar after he finished that layup. What a tough shot by BJ Mack. I was just getting ready to say South Carolina needs to move around him when he posts. BJ Mack says, don't worry about moving. I got this one.
Colin Moore into a triple team. Outside McLaughlin. Driving on Mack. Ran him over. Offensive foul. That's his 4th. How about that from PJ Mack moments ago? His 14th and 15th points.
2 big-time plays, game-winning play, taking the charge. You see Meechie Johnson coming back into this game, got some valuable rest. That was huge for South Carolina. They were able to hold on and even extend their lead with him being over them.
South Carolina 4-0 this year. First 4-0 start since 2016-2017. The year they made the Final Four in Phoenix. They have not been back to the tournament since. 2 losing seasons in their last 3 years. Got a foul away from the ball.
Versus San Francisco, been really quiet. Needs him to make a big-time play. Maybe it's a block, an offensive rebound, putback, something to get him going into the flow of this basketball game.
Well, this becomes a 1-and-1 situation for BJ Mack. 2 of 2 at the line tonight. Make it 3 of 3. What a luxury to have a guy who's 6'8", 270 with the touch he has at the line. 3 of 3 tonight. 11 for 13 in the season, 80% for his career.
I know one thing, Jack. The coaches in the Southern Conference are glad they don't have to deal with him any longer.
What a nightmare he was at Wofford for everybody. You know that conference well. Approaching the midway point of the second half. 11-point South Carolina lead. Ray Harrison is bumped in fouls. Jacoby Wright will pick it up. 6 on South Carolina.
Ray Harrison, just such a heady player. He puts Jacoby Wright in a really difficult spot as he comes off the ball screen. Jacoby Wright's trying to fight over the top. Harrison just holds him on his back, and he ends up committing the foul. It's a heady offensive play by Ray Harrison.
McLaughlin facing up on Davis. Double comes. Harrison kicks around the horn. Tyon Grant Foster. Sidestep 3. Tipped out of bounds by Brennan. Let's see. They're going to discuss.
And much to the disappointment of Lamont Harris, he was shaking his head over there. I thought it was a great block out by BJ Mack. Brennan trying to get in there. Kind of a bang-bang play.
McLaughlin against Davis to the basket. Oh, he tried to throw it down right over Mack and drew a foul. He nearly put him on a big-time poster, but free throws will be coming.
And that
preseason all-WAC, last year's second team all-conference. We talked about him being their leader in rebounds at the D1 level. He's their number 7 scorer at the D1 level. His brother Aiden actually played soccer at GCU, a reason why he transferred from Southeast Missouri State in the first place 5 years ago.
Jack, let's keep an eye on this sequence. 10 minutes to go in this game. They get the call reversal. The ball's back in their favor. McLaughlin gets to the foul line. 10-point game, has a chance to cut it to single digits here.
McLaughlin had 14 points in his first 3 games this year. He's got 15 tonight. Grand Canyon back within single digits. Inside the midway point of the second half.
2-3 zone by Grand Canyon, changing up the defensive look.
Cooper, Wright, Davis, Mack, and Johnson, the 5 for South Carolina. They made 7 of the last 8 shots. Shooting 75% in the second half. Wright, backdoor feed to Davis, finishes again. It has been precision offensively for South Carolina.
Great patience. Grand Canyon changes defenses, trying to catch South Carolina off guard. They know exactly what they're doing. They're trying to get BJ Mack to the high post. Davis late in the shot clock. Big time cut for a huge basket for South Carolina.
Moore tries a 3 and connects. They needed that one in a big way. Their first 3-pointer of the second half brings them within 8.
That's exactly what Grand Canyon need. They're going back to the zone. Look for South Carolina to try to get it to Davis in the middle or BJ Mack along the baseline.
Cooper thought about it. Johnson will take. Rebound tipped. Mack threw it off the body of Grant Foster. That's a heady play.
See here, Moore just coming off a little pin down screen, catches and shoots it. Other end of the floor, when you decide to go zone, the biggest key, if you're going to play zone, you're no longer matched up with your man. You have to find a body and block out in the zone. You see BJ Mack get his team another offensive possession.
Mack going baseline. Puts it up, around and off. He finally missed one. Rebound tipped, though, taken by Johnson. He swarmed. McLaughlin tied him up. And the arrow's going to favor Grand Canyon. Oh, it's getting physical here in the desert. He was furious that he didn't get a foul call. He thought McLaughlin reached in. A lot of arm there.
A lot of arm.
A lot of physicality in this game, too.
Physicality and arm. Coach Parrish trying to calm his team down. 9 minutes to go in the game, partner. This has been fun basketball.
It has. What's Grand Canyon looking for offensively on this trip, trying to get back into 2 possessions?
Well, I think they got to put the ball in Ray Harris's hands, see if he can create. Play off the bounce or go to this guy.
Tyon Grant Foster to the rim. Draws a foul. If it's on Mack, and it is, that's number 4.
And that's big. We'll see how long Lamont Paris keeps him over there on the bench as you see Justin Gray getting ready to check back in. But going back to the possession for Grand Canyon, just they love bringing Grant Foster off that stagger. And if he can get a 3 off, great. If not, curl in the lane, get down the lane for a finish or a foul, and that's exactly what he did.
So Mack leaves, Gray comes back in, Studi will re-enter as well. So Mack with 4 fouls. Again, he was in foul trouble Friday in the win against DePaul, played a season-low 16 minutes. Grant Foster, meanwhile, 9 points in the first half, up to 12 now. He's 5 of 5 at the line. McLaughlin on the offensive rebound. Grant Foster reload 3. Crowd was ready to erupt on that one.
And South Carolina got very, very fortunate there. Grand Canyon going to stay in this zone, show zone, stay with it.
Studi in the middle of it, bounce pass to Gray, and he misses. Battle for it, tie up. Possession, South Carolina. Tell you what, South Carolina, it felt like they couldn't miss early in the half. All of a sudden, a couple of bunnies around the rim, not converting in a game this tight. That'll hurt you.
And that's the right play to dump it down there to Josh Gray. He's got to finish that. The veteran big man for South Carolina's got to finish that play off, but love his effort to not give up on the play.
Meechie Johnson will inbounds. 8:06 to play, 7-point South Carolina lead. They've led by as many as 11. They've led nearly the whole second half. Jacoby Wright, drop off to Gray, left it short, got it back, in the lane, puts it up and through with a foul. All muscle and guts and grit from Josh Gray. South
Good for
Carolina's
Josh
back
Gray. Good for Josh Gray. Career. Lamont Paris, his third head coach, goes to LSU coming out of high school, prep school. Played for Tom Espinoza up at Putnam Science Academy. Great career for them. Third head coach, to see him and the effort plays that he's making. That was a huge play for this team, especially with B.J. Mack over on the bench. It allows Lamont Paris to keep him over there with those 4 fouls.
Can't convert the three-point play. 9-point South Carolina lead, inside 8 to go. Championship game of the inaugural Arizona tip-off. Both teams perfect on the year. Moore down the lane, blocking a foul. And he'll get free throws.
The whole South Carolina bench knew that the lob play was coming. Eddie Shannon, you want to talk about a great SEC guard back in the day for the Florida Gators. Played for Lon Kruger and Billy Donovan back at the University of Florida, assistant coach for the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Colin Moore knocks in that first free throw. He's now got 9 points. Of course, we sit next to a guy who knows Florida pretty well. A couple of national titles under Billy Donovan. Both free throws in. 7-point game. South Carolina 61% shooting in the second half. They've led by as many as 11. Jacoby Wright out there with Studi, Davis, Gray, and Johnson. Off the Gray screen. Johnson and Brennan sizing him up on the baseline drive. Inside Studi. Oh, he almost put it down with a foul. Wow.
But what a play by Meechie Johnson. Anytime there's a baseline drive, there's 3 spots on the floor that you need to get occupied. You call it the dunker spot. It's right there at the top of the halo. You need the drift and you need the diagonal. We've seen Meechie Johnson make the play to the drift. He had Studi cutting right to the dunker spot. Heady play by the guard.
Studi makes that free throw. He's got 12 points. Again, he's been in double figures 4 of his first 5 games as a South Carolina Gamecock. An for conference transfer coming over from Vanderbilt after 3 years in Nashville. Missed the free throw. Gray went over the top. So that's a mistake there. And that means you go from a free throw here to a free throw there.
Because we've got to convert those if we're going to pull this thing out.
Look at what Grand Canyon has done at the free throw line tonight. 1 miss. 17 for 18. Duke Brennan, for his career, is only about 62%. He's done 9 for 14 this season. He makes the front end there.
I didn't want to say the old announcer jinx. You're talking about how good they've been from the foul line. Huh?
You believe in that?
They don't want to give him the jinx.
Arizona State transfer. 9 family members who've been Division I athletes. What a huge add he's been to this team. He's got both. They're 19 for 20 at the free throw line. The lead is down to a half dozen. 7 to play here in the title game of the Arizona tip-off. South Carolina and Grand Canyon matching up for the first time ever. It's been a dandy. Studi in the lane. Behind the back to Gray. Up and off. What a dish that was.
Studi wanted that assist too. The drop behind the back. Dumps it off. The big fella's got to go up with 2 hands and finish that play. But he does get to the foul line. Was just getting ready to say, as this got down to 6, at what point here does Lamont Paris go back to B.J. Mack?
You see Gray's production in 6 minutes, and that's a big free throw make. So he's 1 of 2 now at the line. He's now 6 for 14 on the season, and there is B.J. Mack to the scorers table with his 4 fouls. He's got 17 points a game high. So you agree with him coming in now?
Maybe we would have held him off 1 more defensive possession, let Josh Gray play defense here, then get him in there for offense, because that's where you really need him, is offensively. Running plays through him, running actions through him. And if you're Bryce Drew, put him in a middle pick and roll right now and see if he can guard it and get his 5th foul.
So Gray out, Mack back in. 8-point lead, 6:45 to go. Ray Harrison pulls up and hits. He's got 12. It's a 6-point game again.
That's a big, big shot. Getting it down to a 2-possession game. Getting right to that spot. He loves that mid-range spot. He's so effective there.
Now can they get a stop? South Carolina still 61% in the second half. B.J. Mack watched by Brennan. Meechie Johnson around the screen. Down the lane he goes with the left. Left it short. Here comes Grand Canyon. Three-pointer to the back within a single possession. Colin Moore directing traffic. Into the steady hands of Ray Harrison. WAC preseason player of the year. Off the Brennan screen. In the lane. Pulls up. Left it short. Meechie Johnson a good rebound. South Carolina on the move. Davis thought about it. Now takes. Left it short.
Coach Paris, not sure he liked that shot in transition. Wanted to come down. I thought Meechie Johnson on the last offensive possession too. BJ Mack was wide open on that pick and pop.
Tyon Grant Foster against Davis in the lane for two. It's a 4-point game and a foul.
And just like that, down the lane with the finger roll and one.
You cannot say enough about this guy's story and what he is doing. Nearly 2 years without playing. Comes back 12th in the nation in scoring, all the time off. Took about 16 months for doctors to clear him after a heart issue. March 2023 finally got cleared. Decides to come to GCU. Is thriving and misses on that free throw. We got a foul and a push on South Carolina. Wow. On the free throw action.
Studi trying to block out maybe.
He and Mack both at 4.
I guess it was McLaughlin who was wedging under that. I didn't see exactly what happened, but
either way,
that is a big play.
Double bonus situation. And McLaughlin's got the first. Grand Canyon now 20 for 22 at the free throw line. Again, they came in averaging 31 free throw attempts a game, second most in the nation behind Alabama A&M. They were 5th nationally, averaging about 23 free throws made a game through 3 games.
We knew the foul line would be a big stat in this game. Right now, plus 11 in favor of Grand Canyon, and South Carolina really needs a basket here.
Here comes this crowd again. 6-0 GCU run. A little over 60 seconds gone in that run. Can South Carolina silence them? Off the Mack screen. Cooper weaving, finds Mack. Got him up in the air. Outside right. Passes on a 3. Shot clock's inside 10. Meechie Johnson with 5. Finds Mack, top of the key. Fly-by triple. Got it! BJ Mack with his 4th 3. He's got 20. South Carolina back in front by 5.
Great play by Meechie Johnson. He made the right read. He missed BJ Mack. A few possessions back. He finds him there. That's a big-time shot by Mack.
Harrison off the Brennan screen. Colin Moore inside 5 to play. Grant Foster backing up. Deep one from the corner. Brennan an offensive rebound. Backing down on Mack. Offensive foul. That would have been number 5 if they called it on him. Instead, it's a charge.
He felt like he got pushed on that offense.
Add that guy. You think about the experience they added. 430 combined career games of the 4 transfers that Lamont Paris added. 300 starts combined entering the year. And he has given them a great performance in a hostile environment here tonight. So South Carolina, a 5-point lead in the ball. Title game, Arizona tip-off. Both of these teams unbeaten in the young season. South Carolina's largest lead has been 11. Grand Canyon's largest lead was 4. That was a minute and 10 seconds in.
If you're BJ Mack, when you set these ball screens, you've got to make sure you get your feet set. Don't pick up an illegal screen.
Talon Cooper off the screen. Mack up top, tries again, and he's fouled by Brennan. Well, that's what it does when you knock down 4 of those. And free throws coming.
That's the decision that Bryce Drew continue to get 3-point shots.
So Brennan charged with the foul, and that's always a tough one to take when it's 3 shots. He's 4 for 4 at the line, make it 5 for 5. South Carolina's been efficient when they've gotten the line. They're 10 for 12 now, but they're still a minus 11 in free throw attempts. BJ Mack, a native of Charlotte. You think about it, he's been playing in high-level games since he was very young. Played at Oak Hill Academy. He was the only player in Peach Jam history to play in back-to-back title games there. Was terrific at Charlotte Christian. South Florida didn't play much. 3 years at Wofford, all Southern Conference, and now thriving at South Carolina in his final college campaign.
Knocks down 3 big free throws to get this lead back up to 8.
23 points. 4 to play. Does Grand Canyon have one final push? McLaughlin got a team high 17, and he's fouled by Clark. So they call the block.
Every single time in this game that Clark has been on McLaughlin.
Continental Tire, the smart choice in tires.
Down the stretch we go at Desert Diamond Arena. Gabe McLaughlin, couple of free throws, left that one short. That's only the third free throw missed today for Grand Canyon. Title game, Arizona tip-off, 3:54 to go. South Carolina has led pretty much the whole second half. They've led by as many as 11. GCU playing 10 miles away from their campus. The Havocs out in full force. The fans behind them. They're down 7. Now they're going to get a stop. South Carolina 57% shooting here in the second half. B.J. Mack, game high 23. It's Jacoby Wright, knifing his way inside, poked away, got taken by Johnson. Shot clock to 10. Johnson off the Clark screen. Johnson down the lane, up and off. Tyon Grant Foster the rebound. On the run, Grant Foster to the bucket. It's a 5-point game.
It's exactly what they needed. They got the stop they needed. That last defensive possession, they elected to switch B.J. Mack in the ball screen and not give him a 3.
Cooper at the controls. Off the high screen from Clark. It's Mack and now Wright. Shot clock down again. Right in the lane. Outside Clark. Got to go with 4. Inside to Mack. In the lane. Up and in. Did he get it off? He did. They'll review. For now, it's good. Bar. On the biggest stage he's been on so far. So 2:46 left. Grand Canyon down 7. Do they have some magic in them? Trying to stay unbeaten. Ray Harrison up top McLaughlin. Around the horn Moore. Deep 3. Got it. What a response.
What a response. South Carolina just a split second slow on their rotations coming out of pick and roll coverage. Grand Canyon takes full advantage of it. Still a lot of possessions left in this game.
Harrison gambled. Johnson caught it. 2:15 to go. Jacoby Wright and Brennan backing up. Sizing up Brennan. Jacoby Wright off the bounce. In the lane. Falls away and hits. What a shot that is. Timeout called. Jacoby Wright icing his college. Spent time at 3 different prep schools. Started 9 games last year. 10 points per game his first 3 this year. Quiet Friday has come alive tonight. 2 to play. Grand Canyon down 6. They've trailed in the second half by as many as 11. Ray Harrison to Brennan. Upstairs fouls. It's Clark. And that's number 4.
Great set play by Bryce Drew coming out of the time. Give up on the play and just allow Duke Brennan to have a dunk.
How about the impact Duke Brennan has made on this GCU team early? Played 36 games last year at Arizona State. And that first free throw rims off. 22 for 26 as a team now for Grand Canyon.
South Carolina right now, the biggest thing is getting the ball inbounds, handling the pressure that Grand Canyon could possibly come with. You do have timeouts. If you get in a pinch, don't be afraid to burn one.
So Brennan makes the second. Full court pressure now. South Carolina handling it well so far. It's B.J. Mack. 5-point game, minute 40 to go. Championship game of the Arizona tip-off. 2 unbeatens battling it out here in the desert. Shot clock to 10 for Johnson. Back to Mack. He's got 4 threes. He's off that time. Long rebound Harrison. They can make it a 1-possession game with a bucket here. Colin Moore. Off a screen. Into the lane he goes against Clark. Falls away and connects. Colin Moore with 15. It's a 3-point game.
Clark shaking his head. I think Clark played pretty good defense. That's just a great shot by Colin Moore.
10 second half points for Moore. Here comes the GCU crowd. 10 miles away from their campus here at Desert Diamond Arena. Meechie Johnson backing up. Shot clock to 10. Inside 50 seconds. Jacoby Wright to the bucket again. 2 big buckets down the stretch. Lead back to 5 for the Gamecocks.
How good has the veteran guard been for South Carolina down the stretch of this game?
Ray Harrison. Trier responds. Outside Tyon Grant Foster. About a 15-second game clock, shot clock difference. Bryce Drew saw that. Calls timeout knowing how crucial this possession is.
Huge middle of the floor. Can I get it to the sideline? Know where your outlets are and know you still have 2 timeouts that you can burn if you need to.
GCU has made its last 3 shots. 16 for Grant Foster, 18 for McLaughlin, 15 for Moore, 12 for Harrison. 5-point game, half a minute to go. They got to go fast. McLaughlin, 10 on the shot clock. Across the lane against Cooper. Grant Foster rises for 3. An air ball. And out of bounds it goes. South Carolina buckles down again.
How about the confidence in Lamont Paris to put Davis back in the game? He's done a great job on Grant Foster with his length and his athleticism. It showed there and forced him into a difficult shot.
Can't say enough about their defense all night on Grant Foster and Harrison. Those guys are good, but they've made them work all night long. Now you got to be careful with the ball. Only 10 turnovers tonight for South Carolina. Only 1 in the second half. They've been tremendous protecting the ball. Cooper to inbounds. It's Johnson. Trap comes. And now Wright. And a timeout taken by Lamont Paris.
It's one of those timeouts as a coach. Called it a split. You just get a little bit nervous when you see that trap. But Meechie Johnson found the out on the inbounds, and the second that the ball comes in bounds, you've got to foul. Okay. Hoping maybe South Carolina goes to the line, misses 1, maybe misses 2.
No time to set up a trap.
No time to set up a trap. Not with a 2-possession game.
Helps to have Talon Cooper as your inbounder. Guy who's one of the great assist men and assist to turnover men in the country. Inbounds pass to BJ Mack, and they give that right away with 15.8.
Smart play, heady play by Cooper, looking up the floor. South Carolina obviously want to send.
That's the version they need the rest of the year from him. Meanwhile, BJ Mack, he has been the story tonight. Game high 25 points. He is a perfect 7 for 7 at the free throw line. Make it 8 for 8. Calm, cool, collected. 109th career game here today for the guy who has scored more than 1,300 points in his college career. Got them both. 27, a point shy of a career high.
How about Lamont Paris? The job that he's done turning this program around, getting it going in the right direction, undefeated to start this season. Just absolutely amazing.
Tyon Grant Foster rises. It's off the mark. Rebound down to Clark. GCU will not foul. Wright will dribble it out. And South Carolina crashes the party in the desert. They take down Grand Canyon 75-68. And they are the inaugural.